Good day, everybody. Welcome back. It's been 3 weeks or so since we've last been online streaming. Had a great trip over to the UK, but it's time to get back into it and kind of knock the rust off a little bit as we go here. So what we're going to be doing is jumping on board the aircraft. We'll get her set up. I'll try to go through everything, make sure I remember it all. We're flying today from Melbourne up to Townsville, which is up on the northeastern coast of Australia. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Should be a nice morning flight. So let's hop on board and we can start getting everything all set up. Alright, so here's the aircraft. And we'll start by coming down here. We'll get our flight plan loaded in and reset our departure time. Alright, so we're going to set this to 30 hours. It's currently, actually, let's go by this time here. We'll set the local time. So instead of 9, we'll go 09:15. 09:15. Okay, I see what this is doing. So let's go 23:15. That's better. Take a quick look at the weather. Yeah, winds are still out of the north and everything will be good there. So we'll head over to our system over here with Roger. And we'll grab our messages. Here's our load sheet. We've got our preliminary information. We'll accept that. And we will go with we got our weights there, so they're good. And come over here now, go to our initialization, and we will bring in our flight plan. While we do that, we can start going down our checks here. So cockpit preparation is done, parking brake is engaged, we'll get that out of the way. GPU is connected, we'll turn the batteries on. And external power is running. The Nadirs, there's 1, 2, and 3. We're up and going. Evac is set to captain and purser. Signs are on. Lights, external lights are on. We've got the nav lights on. Crew oxygen is now on. Generators 1 and 2 are on in fault. Packs 1 and 2 are on and bleed. We'll set the air down 2 notches. We can do our fire tests. There's APU. Oh, hey, LCMS. Well, the stream is probably running in 1080p. I am playing on a 4K monitor, so everything's up at 4K on my end, and then it's converted down through the streaming software. Alright, so we'll get the emergency lights up and on. There we go. The standby compass is up. VATSim keeps dumping me off here. Not sure what's going on. Let's try a different server. Go. It's busy on VATSim today. Over 1,000 people connected, almost 1,000 pilots and 100 controllers. So the standby compass and icing indicators are on. Probe and window heat is good. Cargo heat is set fine. We can come down here and start setting everything up. So we'll come back over to here. We're going to go over to ground services. That is all set. No, it doesn't seem to want to leave me on. Let's see if I choose back to Canada. Try that server. That might drop me there as well. So we got 159 passengers today. There's our cargo and our fuel. So we're going to load the aircraft and we'll go fast time. So it'll be loaded fairly quickly. Yeah, I haven't been on VATSim in a couple weeks because I've been away, but I know the I haven't seen it dropping me like this for quite a while, so I'm wondering if there's something going on with the servers. We will see. Anyway, here we have our zero fuel weight of 59.1. So we're going to enter in our flight number. Skyways UKV 5556. Cost index is 25, and 360 is our cruising altitude. We're going to bring in our winds, and we'll do our wind request. We'll get our winds in and set up. And there we go. So the winds are in. We can come back here. We'll go to our trip. Wind is a tailwind of 43 knots in the cruise. That's actually not what I want yet, though. We're not there. But what I do want is tropical 35. Yeah, that's way off. 35265. We'll enter that in there. And we'll come over here. Yeah, I haven't heard audio problems, although there's been nobody on yet. But I'm getting connects and disconnects. We'll see how that works and how that lasts for today's flight. Not that there's any ATC on down here in Australia at the moment, since it's only like 6 o'clock in the morning. 59.1 tons, and if we come back over, go to the second page, our predicted load is for center of gravity is 31.6. Well, thanks for the follow over on Twitch there, LCMS, much appreciated. It's 31.6. That will change once the final boarding numbers are in. Block fuel for today is 11.9 tons. And now we can put our trip wind in, which is a tailwind, so that's going to give us a bit of a push. Really? Tailwind of 43 knots. How's that an invalid entry? Interesting. Maybe they changed something on that. We will see. Anyway, with that all done, we can now come over to our flight plan. So we are, with the winds are 360, we're going to be going off of runway 34. We're going to be doing the Ming 3 departure, and we will brief that shortly, and we will insert that. Our arrival today, we are doing the RNAV on runway 19. There's the RNAV Papa. It should be a tailwind though. There's the RNAV Zulu runway 19, which is what I want, and we are coming in on the Wampa 1 Zulu arrival. Wampa 1 Zulu arrival. We will insert that and get that all in there, and that is fine. We can come back to here and know in some aircraft it's plus or minus, but on this one it's always been tailwind 43. Now I wonder if it's because I've entered in the winds for the it doesn't put descent. There's no cruise winds. I don't know. That's interesting. HD 043? Okay, let me try that. Headwind of 0. Oops, no, not point. Of 043. No, didn't take that either. Very interesting. How are we doing over here? 100 boarded. Alright. So we'll continue getting the rest of the aircraft set up while we wait. FMC is pretty much set. MCDU, we're going to be climbing straight up to 36,000 feet, which is our cruise altitude. There we go. 36,000 feet. And we'll be managed on speed and managed on our heading. Yeah, not sure why it's not accepting that. It's it was working before I went away on holiday, so I don't know what's going on there. It says we had another company message. No, that must be that one there. So I'll just go back. That should be cleared. Yeah, that's cleared now. Still loading. Alright, so altimeter, current weather at Melbourne is winds are 010 at 9 knots, a few clouds at 4,000, temperature is 0 degrees, QNH 1025. So we'll set that in, and we are set cross check. We'll set our standby 1025 as well. There we go. Transponder, you will be squawking 2000. PWS is unop, GCS is set to auto. Fueling is done. Cargo is done. We're just waiting on the last of the passengers to come on board at this point. So we can come down here and set up some of the other stuff. We'll come down to our Navigraph. We'll bring in the flight plan. So we can take a look at where we are. So let's come down here to the airport layout. So here's the airport layout. We're located right here at the moment. What we're going to be doing is we're going to come out here. We're going to taxi out on Gulf to Alpha. And we're going to taxi down Alpha and then Kilo to runway 34, and we'll be departing to the north. And we are departing on the Ming 3 departure. Let's go back to there. So we'll go to our departure. Let's see if we can find it. If it's this one. Yep, there's the Ming 3 departure. So we're going out here to Rockdale, then up to Sally, and then all the way up to the MNG, the Mangalore VOR. No restrictions height-wise or speed-wise, so that's fine. Boarding is done. We can dismiss all that stuff out there. And once we're up and going, here's where we're going to be in the cruise. Basically, it's a direct flight south to north, up through 3 of the Australian states, and then we do the jog over, and we'll be landing here on Townsville, which is on the edge of the Coral Sea here on northeastern Australia. Our arrival, once again, is the Vampa 1 Zulu arrival. I'm going to star that one. So we're going to come in this way, and this is the 1 Zulu. We're going to fly down here. out over the coast, out over the water. We'll be making these left turns. We're coming in on runway 19er, and when we land, our approach will be the there's the RMP 19er Zulu, and you can see we're coming in from Libot. We'll make the turn, come over the island here down to the runway. So that is now marked as well. And once we're on the ground, we'll be landing. We'll come down here. We'll taxi in down here at Delta 2 and park up in front of the terminal building right there. So that is our plan for our routing for today. And what I'm going to do for takeoff is we'll just have these charts up there. I'll make sure that we're tracking where we are down there as well. Alright, so everybody's now on board. No, I don't live near Townsville. I'm in Canada, and this flight is down in Australia. We're just doing some flights down in the area, as this is a place of interest. We don't get down here all that much. So if we take a look outside, they've pulled the air stairs away. The aircraft is sitting here, and we are all set and ready to go. So we're going to bring up our pushback. We'll pre-plan the push. If we were loading in real time, we would have had a little bit more time to do this, which is fine. I'm going to come back, put there, have them bring us around like so, and sit us right there. Alright, we'll get rid of that at the moment. So fueling, loading, and boarding is complete. APU master will come on. And APU start. So we should now have our final load sheet. There we go. There's our final load sheet. So our zero fuel weight is 59.2. So we can come back over here. So we're going to make that alteration. 59.2. We're just going to notice from VATSim, we are performing a network-wide reboot of the voice servers to fix the connectivity issues. You will be disconnected in approximately 60 seconds. If you do not reconnect automatically, you'll need to open your vPilot client and connect again. So, looks like we're going to be rebooting. So we have 159 passengers plus 6 crew. There's our zero fuel weight, and if we come down to here, there's our zero fuel weight center of gravity is 30.8. This is the revised one with the current baggage and passenger numbers. So we'll put that in there. So those numbers are now in there, nice and accurate. And what we can do is we can now come over here. We're going to, nope, not that one. We're going to go to our departure performance. So we're going to be taking off on runway 34. The surface is dry. We are at Melbourne. We'll bring in the sheets. We're going to be taking off on a flaps 1 plus F. We're not forcing toga. Anti-ice will be off. Packs will be on. So we are going to be taking off with the air conditioners. Takeoff weight and the center of gravity are set. We'll bring in the weather. That is all set. And now we will run the calculations. So this is showing us V1 of 157, a VR of 157, a V2 of 158. It's going to be flaps 1 and 0.1 up on the trim with a flex temperature of 58 degrees. So we can come down here, and I'm going to turn it like this so I can see all this stuff. So we can come in here to our performance information now. So there's 157 for our V1, 157 for our rotation speed, and 158 for our minimum climb speed. So this is letting us use the runway to the greatest extent possible. It's going to be a flaps 1, and we are going to be up 0.1 on the trim. That is entered in now, and we are going to be flexing at 58 degrees, which means the engines are going to be a little bit derated for a bit of noise abatement, a bit less engine wear, and a little bit of fuel economy. So that is all now entered in. The APU is up and running, so we're going to go APU bleeds. Bleeds are coming on. That is good. External power we can now disconnect. Takeoff data is all set. V-speeds are in, and the FCU is set as well. Flight directors are both on. Radios 122. 8 is Unicom. So that is all set. We will throw the beacon on since we're ready to begin our push. So we're into engine start. Beacon on, fuel pumps are coming online. And let's get the
cockpit to ground. This is ground, stand by.
Alright, so while we're doing this, we're going to go to 10 miles here so we can see everything that's going on. We're going to come over to Roger's side, put us into 40 miles on his display. I'm going to turn on the train radar, just so that we can see what the terrain is like around us, because there are some hills to the north, as you can see. We're also going to come over here. This is all done now, so we're going to return. We're going to put Roger over onto the flight plan page. They are hooking up the push cart.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Alright, the aircraft is now being lifted. So we are going to announce what we are doing.
We're cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Melbourne area traffic, Skyways 55, 56, parked at gate E10, push and start.
Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Alright, so pushback is starting. Once we're clear of the equipment out there, we can start the engines. Beautiful day here in Melbourne. So that we're ready to go. So bleeds are on. Everything is set up on top. We're going to come over here. Engine ignition is going to go to ignition start, and we're going to start engine number 2. All right, there's the disconnect. And I'm going to go back to... no, I'm on the right server, so let's try reconnecting. We're reconnected. So engine 2 is coming up to speed. So it's getting lined up on the line there. I just heard the bus kick over. There's our pushback.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake is set. Starting engine 1.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir. Cleared to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position, waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Alright, so the pin's been removed. You can see we're clear here, so we can get rid of that. Oh, fire truck going by. Good start on engine number 1. She's coming up. And looking like a beautiful day to go flying today. Alright, so we just had the kickover on the bus. Temperatures are coming up. We have N1 rotation is set. Alright, she's almost there. She's going to peak at about 470 and then drop back down on her temperatures. There we go. 489, 490. Engine is settling in. And there goes the temperatures coming back down. So we're available on both engines. We are good there. Alright, so ignition mode selector back to normal. Probe and window heats are on automatic. Wing and engine NTAs not required. Packs 1 and 2 are both on. Flaps are going to be 1 plus F. Flaps in motion. Come down here for the trim. Trim, as I mentioned, is going to be 0.1 up, which is now set. Full flight controls, full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full back, neutral, full left rudder, full right rudder, neutral. Flight controls are good. APU bleed is now off. So network has been rebooted and shouldn't be any further issues. Very good. And mass APU is now coming off. FCP is set for departure. And the engine instruments have been checked. Alright, we're ready for taxi. So runway turnoff lights will come on, taxi lights will come on. Melbourne area traffic, Skyways 5556 taxiing to runway 34 via Golf Alpha Kilo holding short 34. Alright. So brakes are released. Come up on the engines. And we'll head out. So Alpha is the one coming up here. If we take a look at the sign, see right there, we're on Golf. That's why it's the centered black one, and then it says Alpha. We have to make this leftwards turn, or right if we're going that way. Golf goal continues straight on. And uniform is over there, which we are not going to. Or it's actually back over that way. But that's fine. Come around here and come on to Alpha. We're going to watch our speed. It's supposed to be 10 knots in turns. A 25 knot maximum speed for taxi. I have engines at idle now, so we'll get the rest of the aircraft set up. So we'll go auto brake to max. We'll arm the spoilers, and we can do our TO config test. TO config, no blue. We're just going to head down Alpha here. Watch our speed. There's 24 knots. We'll bring her down to about 20. We are in idle. I'm going to reset the clock. It's been running since I started the sim. I'm going to actually use it for the flight like we should. We're not doing too bad. We did set a little bit of a later takeoff time, so we are in advance of that. I usually give myself 45 minutes when I do my flight planning for all of this prep stuff, and we're technically only 30 minutes into the stream, so we're a little bit ahead of schedule. which is not bad. There's no ATC on, so we didn't have to really worry too much about that. What I'm going to quickly do in a second is disconnect from VATSim and reconnect and hopefully get a better connection. I'm seeing a lot of unconnected things right now, and I just want to make sure that we are fine. So when we get to the hold short line, I'll do that. Let's bring the speed down. I did mention I would be stopping here anyway, so that's all good. So there, parking brake is on. I'm going to disconnect from VATSim. I'm going to come up here, so we're going to go lights on, strobes on, taxi light to take off, come down here. Weather radar is on, transponder is on, TCAS, TARA, tilt above, and that is all set. Come back over to VATSim, reconnect. So we should be good. Melbourne area traffic, Skyways 5556 taking position, runway 34, departure on the MNG 3 to the north. Let's brakes off. Let's roll out, take position. Power. See that terrain off to the north. It's not too bad. Shouldn't be any conflict at all. Let's get her lined up on the center line. There we go. All right, so brakes are set. Clock is running. Engines to 30%. Melbourne area traffic, Skyways 5556, rolling runway 34. There we go. Engines stabilized 40%. Brakes released. Coming up. Man flex, SRS enabled. It's through 100 knots. We're using the whole runway. Again, we're not running the engines at full power. It's V1 rotate. Nose up 15 degrees. There we go. It's 15 degrees. Hold it there. Positive rate. Gear up. Speed brakes disarmed. Coming up on acceleration altitude. We're going to go back into climb mode. There we go. Thrust levers are in climb. Autopilot's on. I'm going to start accelerating up to 250 knots now. Speed is through S speed, that's slat speed, coming up on the flaps. Here's our first waypoint. 3,000 feet. Come out on our range. This terrain is no longer an issue. We'll turn off that. Around Sally, you can see the magenta indicator here. That's when we're going to accelerate to our climb speed above 10,000 feet. It's 5,000 feet. Everything is looking good. 250 knots. We are going into the best climb rate possible. Beautiful look at South Australia out the window. And we can now go over here and see us coming out here on the route. We can track our flight through there. 8,000 feet. Transition altitude is 10,000, so when we pass through 10,000, we'll go over standard. And there we go, 10,000 feet. So over to standard on the altimeters. I'm going to kill the dome lights since we're now in sunshine. Landing lights can come off, strobes will stay on, take off. Our taxi lights will come off, turn off lights will come off. Seat belts will come off. It's pretty nice and stable out. Everything else is looking good there. We're going to quickly do a systems check as we continue to climb out. Let's turn on the VORs for you guys for tracking purposes. So we're going to come down here, we're going to go through our systems, make sure everything is looking good. So engines are good, bleed air is all in the green, temperatures are looking good. Hydraulic pressures are all looking, or the air pressurization, sorry, not hydraulics, cabin pressures are looking good. You can see we are changing as we climb out, and the cabin is depressurizing. Electrical is looking good, everything is working off generators 1 and 2. Hydraulics, 3,000 in each, no issues. Fuel is good, loads of fuel. Everything is good there. APU is currently off, which it should be. Air conditioning, cabin temperatures are looking good. And that is all good there. Doors are all set and are armed. Wheels, our wheel temperatures are all fine, and pressures, and we have no other messages there. Alright. So everything is looking there. We have a company message. So we'll head, that's that one. Head down here, see what the company has to say. Oh, looks like they sent us a revised load sheet. It's another preliminary load sheet. Don't know why we got that. Anyway, we accepted it. It should clear the message. And you can go back over to flight plan. You can see we're heading up to the MNG VOR. once we get up to above 25,000 feet, I will do what I usually do, and since there's no ATC up in the area, I will be putting on some in-flight entertainment and going off mic for a bit until we get ready to brief our descent. And we'll just let the entertainment play as we enjoy this flight up to Townsville. It is it's 2.5 hour flight time. 3.2 end to end. Well, I got a feeling it's going to be closer to 3 hours. I think it's 2.5 because of the tailwind that it says we're supposed to be getting. So we'll see how that plays out. It's looking good. One other aircraft in the area that I can see on VATSim right now is way to the north. Like several hundred miles. So not going to be an issue. It's 18,000 feet. And once again, when we get to about 25,000, we'll get the entertainment up and going. Gorgeous day down here in Australia. Of course, it is winter in Australia, which is why the sun was just coming up when we started. It had just risen about half an hour prior. Should be making a bit of a left turn in a second, and that takes us off the SID into the cruise portion of the flight. There's the turn. Through 20,000 feet. Everything is looking really good. So if you're new to the channel, let me tell you a little bit about it. We do a lot of the live streams that we do are all community flights, so anyone can join in. They're either on VATSim or on multiplayer. Depends on what it is we happen to be doing. There's certain series we run. Currently we're in a little bit of a summer hiatus position. So we're just doing some kind of random flights at the moment. We have been for the last month or two. Down here in Australia, we're also doing a couple other flights around in the area. I'm going to put up in both the YouTube and the Twitch chat are linked to our Discord. So we have a Discord. All the information about all our flights is posted there. At the moment, on Monday, we're going to be finishing our tour of the Americas. We've been flying from the top north end down to the bottom south end of the Americas. And our final flight will be on Monday as we end up down in Ushuaia in Argentina, down at the bottom end of South America. And then after that, I think we're going to be finishing a series we started a while ago. It actually got interrupted by the Russian invasion of the Ukraine because we were supposed to be flying into there when that happened. So we are just going to skip that portion, and we're going to carry on flying around some European capitals. And on Wednesdays, we're flying Cessna 172s along Route 66 in the U.S. We're over halfway, and we're currently down in Arizona. So we do short legs and look around and see what's happening down there. So plenty of chances to fly with us. Once we hit the fall, we'll be going back to a little bit more regular schedule, including weekends and some other stuff. So we are carrying on with our flight here. Everything is looking really good. Again, you're more than welcome to join us and come over to the Discord, say hi, and you can get all our information about what is going on over there. Alright, so we're coming up to 25,000 feet, heading for 36,000, which is our cruising altitude. And again, we're basically going to be heading north straight up over the eastern half of Australia. Not sure the names of the states, but they're in there somewhere. So everything is looking good. There's 25,000 feet. So I'm going to go off mic now. I'll set up the in-flight entertainment. I'll be in and out of the chat for the next little while, and we'll be back on to brief our arrival as we continue our flight. So sit back, enjoy, and you can always order something to enjoy with your movie and entertainment. So we'll see you shortly.
mind is searching for.
He must be in great pain.
Not with that much laudanum in him. As if he were reaching for something. Something specific. I don't understand. By now, he should be completely inert.
Thomas, how's the young man?
Delirious.
A gun in this house, Thomas?
Let me put these back in the gun belt.
Maybe we'll have to get something and tie him down. Are you crazy?
It's empty.
So that was it. The gun.
Good pity.
It's stupid. These wild ones, I keep picking bullets out of them and setting their bones. Why? They're destined to wind up on Boot Hill.
No.
Oh, I forgot. Never speak evil, huh? Well, get me some more hot water, young lady, and start patching him up for whatever's in store for him. Come on, help me with this boot.
Mother? Tell me, dear. What, dear? Oh, about meeting Father. Oh, we've heard that 1,000 times. He was working on the roof of the new mission house. He fell off, and I picked him out of the dust and held him in my arms. He always said I hugged him before I ever even knew his name. And they both knew right away? Of course. Of course, I knew he was a peaceful man, a member of the society. An evil man would seek a more profitable way of life than being a member of the Friends. Father had a beard then, did he? Yes. I should think that would scratch. I prefer a man clean shaven.
He's got the constitution of a mountain lion. He'll pull through, barring blood poisoning. These wild ones never seem to get blood poisoning, though it's common enough among the godly.
You so-called atheists. You always feel so compelled to stretch your godlessness.
Wash him. The bullet's out. He's in no danger.
I bet he killed a lot of people. No, he didn't. How does he know?
That's enough, John. Brent doesn't speak of such things.
Mrs. Worth, get that man out of here.
But he's badly injured, Doctor.
This isn't civilized Pennsylvania. This is a raw frontier. You must take a realistic attitude. This is a place where mayhem, theft, and murder are the commonplace instead of the unusual.
Would that justify leaving a wounded man to die?
Build your house by the side of the road and be a friend to man. Ye who believe.
I don't mind your mocking. You've been a good friend to us.
I'm glad I have a logical mind.
And a good heart. Good night, Doctor.
Still having delirious spells. Keeps mumbling about his past. Yeah. I'm afraid he's had a very violent life.
Cards. Copper on my bet on the black ace. Yeah. You're a shapely husband. You got real confirmation, Margaret. Huh? You've come out that dress just right. That's your color. All right, Margaret. Chart 1089.
know Dr. Penny considers him her own personal patient. Sit down. And will you bring some milk, dear? And when you finish, you can go up and watch him while you card your wool on the loom.
Doesn't need watching. He's had no temperature these past few days. Just a superlatively healthy animal, restoring his depleted strength with sleep. He's no longer delirious. But of course, if you're determined to watch over him, Penny, perhaps you'd better take a pencil and paper with you. His first conscious words should be recorded. They may be of great interest to history. Or more possibly to a United States Marshal. Who knows what violence is involved with his battered frame and his bullet holes.
Would you care for a donut, Doctor? They're not as light as they should
Listen,
be.
Miss Worth. You can carry this head in the sand attitude just so far in a world of reality. Let me get this man out of your house. I can dump him in the establishment that passes for a hotel in this oft-times dubious community of ours.
In Magnum Sanitary Hovel?
And he'll be off your hands.
But he's much better off.
Of course he is, but who cares what happens to him?
We do.
I don't. Once, when I was studying medicine in Europe, I had a friend, an artist. He drew portraits of people and made them resemble the animals they reminded him of. He'd have drawn this man as a coiled cobra.
Oh, Doctor, your analogy's terribly imperfect, and your naturalism haunted. Cobras don't coil. Now, but Doctor, we're so fond, and we respect you so greatly. We're sure that you'll finally realize that realism, untempered by sentiment and humanity, is really just a mean, hard, cold outlook on life. A frightened outlook.
I stand defeated. And furthermore, there are times in this house when I feel as if I were living in a never-never land. But don't hesitate to call on me anytime you need help.
of the members thought it an exhibition of pride to enter my donuts. But what harm can there be in a little donut? Unless one eats so many of them that they explode, which is likely to happen to you, young man.
Well, there's worse ways of checking out.
I'll help you with the dish. No. Please stay and watch Quirt Evans. I'm curious to know the effect of 6 eggs, a pound of sausage, and 12 donuts. I'll call you in time for the milking.
Do all you people from Pennsylvania talk like that?
Like what?
Me?
Oh, well, we're friends.
Friends of who?
Of all. A society of friends. Many people call us Quakers.
Oh, it's a religion.
Believe.
Right on the wall. Each human being has an integrity that can be hurt only by the act of that same human being, and not by the act of another human being. Is that Quaker stuff? You mean nobody can hurt you but yourself?
That's a friend's belief.
Well, supposing somebody whacks you over the head with a branding iron, won't that hurt?
Physically, of course. But in reality, it would injure only the person doing the act of force or violence. Only the doer can be hurt by a mean or evil act.
Are there very many of you Quakers?
Very few.
Sort of figured.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Carrot from a garden.
I found these out in the road. Belong to a fellow named Quirt Evans. I understand you're a friend of his, but maybe you'd see that he gets them back.
Leave me here, I'll see it against him. That Quirt. He'd lose his shirt if it wasn't fucking on. Careless about everything. I keep telling you, sooner or later he...
On second thought, you could just tell me where he is, and I'll take him on back to home myself. Where is Quirt Evans?
You mean, where is he?
You ever notice how a fellow keeps repeating the question when he's stalling about answering?
Yeah. Maybe if I bend this gun over his head, he'll quit stalling.
Well, gentlemen, I hardly know Quirt Evans.
Uh-oh. He lies, too. You've been bragging all over town what good friends you two are. No, this fellow ain't got many good qualities, has he? Sit down, friend. Maybe that'll help your memory. I'm asking about Quirt Evans.
Well, all I know is...
Thanks for sewing the shirt. But I can't find my pants.
Get back in bed.
Oh, laziness is the only thing that's kept me there this long.
The doctor says you're to stay in bed 4 more days. Now, Artie, good. Oh, you're up. That's no way to speak to an older person, Joe.
Well, we're pals. You wouldn't expect a pal that called me mister, would you?
See, Dr. Mango said he saw you some men in town were looking for you. Says one of the men was a Mr. Laredo Stevens.
Get my pants.
But you're late.
Johnny, get me my pants.
No, John.
Will he get my pants?
Get the pants, John.
What you said.
What are you looking
These.
Oh boy, it's a good thing I'm not a tattletale.
at? Said him over.
They use the familiar in speaking to me.
The what?
The familiar. The plain language. Get me my pants, Big Fred.
take you a lot of places.
I'd go.
What?
I'd rather stay here with you, but if you'd rather go someplace else, and I'll go someplace else. You sound very bold.
Well, it's just that I didn't think religious people were quite so sudden and direct.
Well, it's the way I feel, and it'd be dishonest to say anything else.
Yeah.
I used to wonder about it. I suppose every girl does.
About what?
About love. About whether as you got to know someone, you fell in love little by little, or it happened all at once. The Arsenal.
Well, I wouldn't say shocked exactly, but you sure get to the point.
Should I be different?
No, Fanny, I like you just the way you are. Who emptied this gun?
Father. Cord, a gun is a symbol of force, evil. We never had one in our homes. It was a concession that Father allowed even an empty one. It was only because you couldn't rest without
Why
it.
the cartridges?
Outside?
Hey, why don't we just bust in?
Because busting through doors with Quirt Evans on the other side ain't my idea of a healthy pastime.
Tell him to come in.
Come in.
You can stand right there. Against the light.
Howdy, Quirt. You sure run a ring around me, all right. You know, I don't think it was right friendly of you to beat me to locating that tract after my boys found it. Of course, I'm willing to listen to your side of it. I'm a reasonable man.
Sure. Laredo's always reasonable. That's why he's the biggest man in the territory.
You the biggest man in the territory, Laredo?
So a lot of people say.
I hadn't heard. You nervous? No, Willems.
I can't figure out why you keep stepping on my toes all the time. What's that your business? I'm a good loser.
I like a good loser. Of course, I like any kind of a loser better than a winner.
Yeah. You know, I had a chance to do a heap of thinking while I was following your trail across the territory. I followed it by that string of run-off horses you left behind. Well, sir, I figured out this way. Quirt don't really want that land. Because work ain't exactly in his line.
Is it in your line?
No, of course not. I was getting it for another fella. And, well, I figure maybe you can sell.
I don't hear anything jingle.
It's all right if I put my hand inside my shirt?
Why not?
$5,000 in gold there.
I want 20.
Well, okay, but I'll have to owe you 15. That's all I got on me. I got the deed in my pocket.
Get it out.
Now, if the young lady can find us something to sign this with.
Still Laredo's hired boy, eh, Hondo? Picking up after him, carrying matches for his cigars.
You mind yourself.
He'll mind himself, won't you, Hondo?
Miss, would you mind taking this over to Mr. Evans, please? Thank you. You know, I'm sure glad to see you up and around, Quirt. We heard you just went on your back.
Sorry to disappoint you.
And you come on over and get the rest of that money anytime. Anytime, that is, that you feel able.
I'll see you one of these days.
Well, so long, Quirt. can't do that. We tend to any wounded human, and not for pay.
You don't believe in force, so you can't force me to take it back.
I'm afraid you're outwitted, Thomas.
How long have I been here?
Almost 3 weeks.
And I hate to get going.
Oh, but you can't. Your leg. You're in no condition to travel.
Don't worry, your cooking's got me grained up and ready for market. Adios, amigos.
Quirt! Shall I pack my things?
What?
You'd leave without me?
I got places to go.
Quirt, I wouldn't care. It doesn't make any difference to me how far. I know so little. I didn't know it could happen to one and not the other. I thought it always happened to both.
That isn't it.
It isn't?
Well,
Then they do feel that...
look, Penny, I'm not the kind of a guy that does things suddenly. I gotta look before I leave. You can ask anybody, they'll tell you that Quirt Evans is a mighty cautious citizen.
Oh, then it's just that you're not sure yet.
Yeah. Sort of.
Please stay.
It's all settled, Quirt.
Unsettling.
You gonna stay?
A double bagel. Quirt, there's something I'd rather have than this. A favor, a big favor.
Well, you got them both. What is it?
Would you ride past the schoolhouse with me? There's a lot of boys who don't believe I know Quirt Evans.
Sure.
Oh, golly, everybody says you're the fastest man in the territory.
Well, there's those who say I'm pretty slow.
Man should be able to do a good day's work after breakfast like that.
I'll see that you do it. Penny, where's Bucket? Oh, I declare, Penny, I don't know what's happening to me.
Funny thing about pancakes, I lose my appetite for them after the first couple of dozen.
They weren't very good this morning, too heavy. Ah. Wild Indian. Put water on those vegetables this morning.
There's always work around here to be done.
He wanted to be a farmer, didn't he?
Not anymore, I don't.
Surely you could walk to the barn without that.
What?
The gun.
Oh, well, it balances me. One leg's longer than the other. You know, the weight.
Thee are a liar. Throw the cows some hay. There's the spot.
Before I was 15, I learned to hate those things. I swore I'd leave plows and pitchforks to farmers.
I'll do it.
No, I'll do it. But it's an occasion.
Thee.
What?
Nothing, just thee.
Penny! bought the ranch up above from friends who couldn't make a go of it. We had built a community dam, but it was on his property.
Well, what'd you do about it? Don't tell me. You prayed.
Of course.
Get you any water?
Well, we didn't pray for water. We prayed for Frederick Carson.
Carson turned off the water and you prayed for him?
Of course. Can't you see? By committing an evil act, the poor man injured his soul.
Glad there's a well. Because it'd sure get thirsty around here if we had to wait for Carson. Gonna walk his pony.
Benny? Nothing.
You sure you don't leave no slack in that cinch? The boss will sure howl.
Yeah, this ain't the first pony I ever saddled. He'd squawk no matter how I done it.
Sure getting mean these days, ain't he?
The tanker's by his natural bornness. That boil in his neck don't help him none either.
Get out of my way. You belong behind a plow. Carson, don't get down. We ain't taking on no saddle tramps on this spread. Vamoose. Are you a thief? I said get moving, tramp.
Nice dam.
Yeah, what's that to you?
Take out the top 2 planks.
What did you say?
The top 2 let 16 inches of water over there.
Who said so?
I do.
Who might you be when you're at home?
Word Evans.
Well, anybody might ride up here and say they're Quirt Evans. He ain't known around here by sight. Anybody can say they're him.
Sure could.
There's a QE stamp on his saddle. Well, take the top plank out of that head gate, you stupid idiot. I don't need all that extra water.
Step up on that pony.
Well, now look here, Mr. Evans. I've done what you told me to.
You sure did. Step up on that pony.
Well, I'm a kind of a fellow that tries to get along with everybody.
Side me.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe we better take out a couple more of them planks, Chuck. I got 10 times as much water as I need.
That'll do for now.
Well, if you ever need any more, Mr. Evans, all you got to do is say so.
I figured that.
shouldn't have let my neighbors use it. I believe that neighbors should be friendly.
What you got there on your neck? A boil?
His word, I rustled that burned boil off.
Have you tried putting soap into the focus on it?
So, man,
Get down to it and come in the house. I'll fix it for you. That's right.
you gonna hurt me?
No, that's a shame. It looks awful.
Well, looks like your prayer straightened everything out.
So you think your gun changed, Frederick Carson?
Who says I pointed a gun?
I do.
Well, I didn't.
They gave in more easily than I expected. They remember this quirk. The Lord moves in mysterious manner at times using strange methods and odd instruments.
Me? Well, that would be odd.
I just get a gnawing hankering after good pie and truck like that.
Oh, Freddie Carson.
Get them?
I want you to have some of these. They're awful good with coffee in the morning.
Makes me want to go home and shoot my Chinese cook.
You just come back for more anytime you like. They're always plenty.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Frederick.
Goodbye. Man, I ought to see more of these neighbors. Hey, wonderful woman, that Mrs. Worth. Look, she fixed my boil.
Penny.
Excuse me, I think Father wants to give thanks.
Oh, he already thanked me.
I know, I think now he'd like to thank someone else.
And hold my plunder while I get aboard, will you? You know, Mrs. Worth's going to keep me supplied in pies. I want to bring her over a quarter of beef now and then. Finally come to an understanding with my neighbors.
You sure did.
Oh, well, of course, you know I was just scared to death when I made that speech to them people. I'm glad you made me do it. Makes me feel good. Adios, amigo.
Dinner?
How bad's dinner gonna be?
Oh, roast venison and vegetables, and of course a skimpy chicken.
Well, with a pie and cake, I'll try to make out.
Chicken or venison?
Both. I feel real good.
Oh, you do?
New dress.
Oh, it's first day. You call it Sunday. Kurt, do me a favor and hitch up the team for me.
Sure.
And will you do me another favor? Go for a ride with us.
Where?
You're not to ask him to. It's a surprise. It's a pleasure.
Take word. We got a surprise for you.
He knows, I told him.
Thought you weren't allowed to work on Sunday.
Oh, Kurt, there's nothing we're not allowed to do. It's just that we don't believe in doing what we know is wrong.
Well, that makes it pretty much each fella's own guess.
But each fellow knows inside.
Well, there's a lot of gents I wouldn't want to give that much leeway to.
I didn't mean to frighten you, miss. Miss Russ. like that fella, Quirt Evans. Handy man with a coat. While he was acting as Wyatt Earp's deputy over the Tombstone, one day he turns in his badge and starts building himself a nice cattle spread. Suddenly sells out. Goes on the prod. Why? That's when I ain't figured yet. Sometimes things connect. About that time, a fella called Walt Ennis went down in front of Laredo Stevens. Walt was reaching at the time, and some say that a gambler standing there grabbed his hand. Maybe that's connected. How did you stand with Walt Ennis?
Know him.
Two things connected?
I know a lot of people.
Well, I'll figure it out. I usually do. I'm patient. Young lady, don't be looking at him with your eyes all bucked out like a cowbird's. There ain't no future in it. So long, folks.
Quirt, please stay away from Laredo Stevens.
He owes me money. And don't worry, I might come out on top.
That'd be even worse.
Worse? Would it be worse if he goes down than if I go down?
Of course, don't you see that?
Oh, I want to be a guy with a marred soul.
Don't make it sound so cruel, Quirt. You see why I couldn't love you.
Oh, I won't look up Laredo. It's better this way. Every time he opens the door, every time he hears footsteps coming around the corner, Laredo will start sweating, thinking it's me. His food won't sit well the rest of his life. Well, all right, but if I'm going to be holy, I got to get some fun out of it.
You know, I feel like such a gadabout. It seems hardly a whole week since last first day.
Hey, Quirt!
I thought it was you. Well.
Hello. Mr. and Miss Worth, Randy McCall.
How you doing? How do you do?
Just fine, thank you.
Well.
You said that before. We don't want to keep you if you're in a hurry.
Well, I'm in no hurry. I got no place to go.
Well, we have.
Would you care to come along with us?
Sure, where?
To meeting.
To meeting? Yes, to meeting. You don't want to go, do you?
Be nice if you could.
We'd be happy to have any friend of Quirt.
You would? That's just fine. You know, ma'am, I sure am an old friend of yours. Well, I remember one time we were chowing some cattle down near the Llano River. Herd stampeded, Quirt pulled me right out from underneath. Then there was another time, remember? In Opo's Palace down in San Antonio.
We're late.
I know, but I was
Goodbye.
If you can join us, it's in the grove just the other side of town.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good day.
Get along.
Good day.
Why askest thou me concerning that which is good? One there is who is good. But if thou wouldst enter into life, keep the commandments. He saith unto him, which? And God said, Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
What comes out of this thing that makes it worth all this work?
Frozen pudding. Hello, Nelson.
Hello, Penny.
Nelson, Craig Quirt Evans.
How do you do?
Howdy.
Nelson's our horseshoer.
Oh. By the way, I brought that maple sugar you
believe it.
It's a baby.
Yeah, I know. Is it old enough to talk?
Of course not.
Well, if it can't talk, it can't speak. Well, I got something I think you'd like to hear. Laredo Stevens is planning a big play. He's gonna jump up some guys that are moving a trail herd up from the north. I figured that maybe you and me and a couple of friends could sort of play copycat. Well, you heard me, didn't you?
You're gonna have my part of it.
What am I listening to? You passing up a chance to blister Laredo?
That's right.
What's the matter with you, Quirt? This farm what? Oh, the dame.
Sticking your head in this bucket will shut you up.
You're awful touchy lately. You never used to mind what I said.
Hello.
Hi.
Come along with the water, Quirt.
Shut up.
Quirt, would you come over here? Sit down. May I have your attention? Friends, we all know the purpose of this meeting is threefold. As always, to give thanks for the goodness bestowed upon us. But also to give thanks for the particular that the fields are again watered, and the crops and the livestock thrive.
There's two mushrooms out right at the head of the valley. If you stick a look out there, you can see a herd coming for 10 miles.
Where'd Evan? Friend? We are happy to present you with this token of our friendship for you. This is Quirt Evan. We're happy to have him here with us because he provided another incident which reaffirms our belief that all men are good if they are shown the light. He persuaded Frederick Carson to let down the water by showing him that a man who is a friend to other men is a happy man himself.
May I shake your hand, Quirt? I want to talk to you. This'll sound like I'm butting into your business, and I am. And you ought to give me a watch with a gold case for doing it. You dim-witted nail-bender, marry that girl.
Marry her? Why, I assure you my intention. Well, she knows how I feel.
How would she know? Stop yammering about shoeing horses. That's no way to talk to a girl. Talk to her about her, and marry her. And do it quick.
Hey,
Come on.
listen to this. And Benaniah, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of a valiant man of Capsheal, who had done many acts of valor, slew 2 men of Moab and went down and slew 3 lions in the midst of a pit in the time of snow. Whew, 3 lions. And Benaniah slew an Egyptian who had a sword. He took away his sword and slew him with a staff. I guess that must mean a club. Oh, brother, this is good writing.
Let's go.
What about the Bible? You can't throw it away. That would be bad enough.
Then keep it.
All right. It's just one book I'm sure going to read.
I'd better take it back to the Morgan. Why did Quirt leave so abruptly?
I don't know.
this book. You know, you're not very pretty, but I like you just the same on account of your head works. It's much nicer this way. You make it... You know, anybody could just shoot these guys, but you think of an interesting way of doing it. And, you know, quit. I hate to shoot people. I remember I shot a waddy once in Montana, and I dreamed about it all the next night. And, of course, there's always witnesses, and you gotta shoot the witnesses.
Stop jabbering and let's go.
Okay, take it easy, pal. Just in town, you know, I don't want to lose my war bags. And again, I figure if you change your mind about shooting if Laredo was with these guys.
Step up on that horse.
Okay, you got it. Or maybe you're just crowding Laredo into drawing on you in front of a lot of people. Trying to save them for a big night in town, huh? Go.
Let's go.
have to come pulling in here between us?
I didn't see you.
You interrupted a very important discussion on serious matters regarding big things. Me and my brothers don't like it.
Gentlemen, no trouble, please. We just put the place back together after the last difference of opinion. Gentlemen, what with the breakage and the overhead, mainly the breakage, I've had a dreadful time keeping body and soul together.
If what I think is going to happen happens, we'll round out a full day. There's your trip.
What's eating you, tall man?
Did you have words with those Becker brothers?
Who?
Those 4 rhinos. No. Told around they're quarrelsome citizens.
Gentlemen, let's consider the incident closed. Watch our tempers.
Maybe I ought to go apologize.
More whiskey.
Come, gentlemen, let's act like this.
I'll be right back. I hope.
Where you been? Oh, Andy's always on tape.
You don't know what you're doing to me. Please, I got lost Hey, wait a minute, it's me. That's my old friend, Gilly.
I must have hit the wrong man.
I'll say you
Hey, Bert. Sorry, Court. How you doing?
Don't worry about me. Come on. You wait outside. You take them and count them as we throw them out. Don't count.
It's getting late.
Oh, honey, I was so afraid you'd get hurt.
I'm sitting by the river and I'm weeping all the day. On the old Kentucky shore.
Oh, it's wonderful. We got money and whiskey and lovely ladies. Just had a beautiful fight. I tell you, we really ought to be thankful for our blessings.
You've been reading that Bible again.
That's something I never thought I'd see.
What?
A Bible with your name on it. Now, where would you get a Bible? Court! Well, Randy, stop him.
With what?
Where's he going? Has he forgotten something? Oh.
horse, will you, kid?
Sure.
Want to board her for a while? Of course. You're always welcome.
Where?
Hello. Well, I haven't had a decent meal since I left you. Chocolate?
Not very good. The flour, you know.
Well, I'll just stick around and you get one right.
I'll feed the chicken.
Really, Penny?
Yes. Help me, Quirt.
Does it take two to feed the two chickens, Mother?
Time counts time. Remember?
You came back.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know exactly.
Why did you go away without saying anything?
I don't know that exactly either.
I think it was because I frightened you. I know that sounds strange that I should frighten you, but I mean it. You were frightened because I was stupid. You thought that living with me would be tiresome and dull after a while. Tiresome and dull because all I knew raised us a baby here on the farm was our belief. The people love, marry, and stay together forever after that. Oh, I'm not such a fool not to know that outside worldly places people love it. It doesn't have to follow that they marry and stay together forever. I know that sometimes they separate.
Are you ever going to run down and let me talk?
No, Court, that's what you were afraid of, that I'd tie myself around your neck, and when you got tired, you couldn't be rid of me. And I made up my mind if you came back, I'd tell you this. That whatever you want, Court, you can do.
If I go away, you go with me. If I go away, he go with me.
I used to be an engine fighter. Just can't help walking up soft on people. Morning, Missy. This young man been doing any traveling since I was here last? All over Castle Birdie lost a big herd a few days ago. My Missy, ain't got your tongue?
Why ask her? You know I've been traveling. You look in the corral to see how my horse shaped up.
I did just that. You sure covered a lot of country. It's a right weary animal. I just wanted to see would the young lady lie for you.
I was going to.
Been over Castle Birdie way?
I've been to Rip Rock, and I got witnesses to prove it.
Witnesses. For instance?
Randy McCall, Christine Taylor.
That's what I call witnesses. Who else? Lyle and Neil, I suppose. She'd make a good alibi witness for you. Randy, Christine, and Lila. There's three to draw to. So Lila saw you there too, huh?
Yes.
Come here, Chuckhead. $1.50 crush jumper. Ooh. Well, there's a Mr.
you kick up that horse and move on?
Some young fellas that raised a lot of grain. Cows, sheep, kids. Kind of a fella that you'd always know where he was.
I have to run you off.
Well, now, I'll tell you. I never have been run off no place yet, where I aim to stay. But it just so happens I gotta be going. No, Quid. You don't braid a new rope with me.
uses to which men put alcohol. To each different individual, it's either a stimulant, a depressant, or an anodyne. Just now I'm using it as an anodyne.
Get to the point.
The practice of medicine is one of the most infuriating professions known to man. It takes 30 years of experience to teach you that in the final analysis, there's nothing to do but stand and watch. If she has a lucid moment, you better speak to her. I'm not trying to argue you out of anything. Maybe you ought to stop and think. She wouldn't like this, Quirt. I'm not arguing for or against her point of view, but I know that to her the world's worst tragedy would be that you should kill a man. Of course, you could argue logically that she wouldn't know whether you'd killed him or not. I think she'd know. Any discussion has to have at least two participants. Of course, if you refuse to answer me, Quirt! If I felt cynical, this would be a good opportunity to observe that we're about to see a perfect example of an eye for an eye, etc. Unfortunately, I can't quote chapter and verse. I'm too tired to be cynical. Under those covers, young lady. There's no fever.
Well, they must do what the doctor says. Mother, please.
I can't understand it. I can't understand it at all. There must be some logical, scientific explanation. I'm too old to start believing in miracles.
Reverend Black. Take a look in the street.
black hat standing at the blacksmith shop. Mind if I use the back door, please? Go on, please.
Cat's got 9 lives. The old first class cat.
He also said he was curious to know how much whiskey was taken. To build up your nerves to come out.
You fixing to get your wrist thing back? It's about a pair of ears.
Alright, well, we're back in the cockpit now. We're going to start their briefing for our descent. It looks like Second Officer Nala has come in. She wants to play, but I got work to do. We're going to have to wait till after. So let's go down and take a look at the descent. You see we're coming up soon on top of descent. I'm going to grab the current weather. Automated forecast, but I'll throw it up into the chat. So as you can see, winds are 320 at 6 knots. No clouds detected. 14 degrees. QNH 1019. And now you're gonna have to go out. So we were planning on landing on runway 19er, but with winds at 320, we're not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to take a look at what other options we have. Looks like we can do the ILS Zulu for runway 01. So I think we're going to end up doing that. It's going to be the same approach, the Vompe 1 Zulu. So let's come down here to the flight plan. For our arrival, we're going to do the ILS Zulu 01. Same, or the approach, same arrival. There's everything changed there. And that's all nicely set up now. So let's take a look and see what that is going to look like. So the arrival is the same. So we're going to hit Vompe. This time we're going to make the left turn here. We're going to fly up through Samso, Bulks, and Satco. And then we're going to be making a right-hand turn for the ILS. And what we can do is verify those numbers. Making that turn there. So Vompe, we have to be at flight level 220, and it says above 10,000, so we're good there. It still has the old. Oh, it's not the. It's the Volpat 1 Alpha. All right, so we're going to be doing that. It is the star that we want to change. And it is the 1 Alpha. And we'll insert that. We'll go back to the flight plan. So there's the Vompa one, where we've got to be at 10,000 feet, above 10,000 feet. Samso is above 6,000, Bulks at 6,000, and then Satco should be 4,000. Yes, it is. So that is all good there. So that is now entered in. we'll go to our performance and get that information in a second. I can get rid of that chart. We're going to need that one. And let's get the rest of the weather information. So, we will go over to our landing. Our QNH is going to be 1019. Temperature is 14 degrees. Of course, we're closer to the equator, so the temperature is a little bit warmer. Winds are 320 at 6. Transition level is 10,000 feet. Our decision height is going to be 270 feet to Cat 1 approach. And that is all now entered in. And we're coming up about 18 miles from top of descent. So our intercept is 4,000 feet, so that's what we're going to set, 4,000 feet. There we go. And conveniently our this approach will be 3,000 feet, so that'll all work out very well. You can see our approach lining up here. ILS frequency of 109.3, and if we come over here, 109.3 is already all entered in. So we can start down now. Get rid of the map there. You can see we were almost there. Coast is coming up. And we are starting our descent. Slightly early, but we will maintain a shallow descent until we recapture the path on the way down. So as I mentioned, the altimeter is 1019, so we're going to come over here. We'll set the standby to that, 1019. I am going to bring up the terrain radar in a bit, and that will give us our terrain as we come in. We do have that island. Actually, no, we're not coming in over the water, but we are going to be going between a couple hills and stuff. So we can quite see them. You can see some of it there as we come up to the coastline here on the north. You can see on the charts here. So we'll use them just as a advisory. Townsville area traffic. Skyways 5556, leaving flight level 360 on the Vampa 1 Alpha arrival for the ILS runway 01 at Townsville. Hello, Jack. How are you doing? Hope everything is well. You've joined us as we're beginning our descent into Townsville. We've been going for just over 2 hours. The tailwind has given us quite a push. We are ahead of schedule. So we have our first restriction of 10,000 feet, and that is at Vampa itself. We have to be above 10,000 feet, and if we come over here and look, it's got it set for above 10,000 feet as well, so we should be fine as we come in. That's our first targeted altitude as we descend down. And you can see we're going to level off by the marker there right at Vampa itself. So we're down into the 20,000s, so I'm going to turn on the seatbelt sign. Let the crew have the chance to get everything set up in the back and start their cleanup. I think it's a progress page. Probably flight plan. If we look, it says we're estimated on the ground at 109. It's currently 49, so that's like 20 minutes to landing. Estimated. Oh, Nick, no cargo? Okay, for the 600. So that's probably why it's cheaper. They didn't have to do another variant for it. I wonder what the 800 is going to be then, because I think that's kind of the most popular one. I think the 8 and the 9. It'll be interesting to see. All right, so let's do. Oh, we're in the descent, but we'll do our check. So arrival and weather data is done. Our arrival data has been entered in. If we go over to the approach page, you can see it's all nicely entered in there. We have the weather data is all set and everything is all lined up. MCDU approach page is complete, is set. Radios are set. We're still on Unicom. That is all good. Wing engine anti-ice not required. The skies are pretty good. And the MEDAR did say no clouds detected. FCP 4000 set up. We'll be doing the managed right down to intercept of the ILS. 8 altimeters we will set when we get a little bit closer to 10,000 feet, but it's not a big deal since we're cleared down through anyway. Approach has been briefed. We've gone through that, and we'll set the auto brake when we get down to 10,000 feet as well. Yeah, I was gonna wait until the 800 came out as well, but I really don't think I'm going to get the 3.7. I think I'm going to stick with the Airbuses. I'll probably get the 310 when it comes out, the end-of-build 310. Maybe, depending on the reviews of Just Flight or Aerosoft's 330. And of course, Fly-by-Wire's 380. I think I'll have to get a set of Airbus throttle quadrants, or throttle handles for my throttle quadrant. 77 miles direct line to the airport now. See the coast? Oh, the 310 is going to be free? Oh, even better. In that case, I'll definitely get it. So as you can see, today we're flying the Topa Sky FENIX A320. Boy, that's loud out there. Topa Sky being our Australia-New Zealand subsidiary airline for the VA. So interesting, it usually has my speed pegged at the bottom of the upper lower limits. This time it's got it set at the top. It's interesting. So there's 20,000 feet. I think we'll go ahead and set the altimeters now. So we'll go to our 1019. Set and cross check. And you can see we're going to hit 10,000 and then we'll begin our descent again here at Wampa. I'll throw on the terrain radar now as we go. And we'll set tilt below on the TCATs, even though there's no one in the area. So we've dropped from over 1,000 pilots to just under 700 right now. So it was fairly busy on VATSim. It's come down a little bit. So again, we're going to be making the left turn at Vauxhall. We'll fly down and make a right turn at Satco and then come in, and that's what's showing here on the display. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to all. We'll go to our ground charts, and I'm just going to bring up our landing chart for when we get down on the ground. So as we're going to be landing on 01 this time, we're probably going to get off here at Gulf 1. And what does Gulf 1 say? 3. Taxiway Gulf 1, not available to aircraft with a wingspan larger than 118 feet or wheelbase greater than 59. We'll be fine. We should be fine. We'll see. We might have to back. Don't think we'll have to backtrack. Definitely would if we tried to do Charlie. I think we should be okay on those ones. This is a military airfield. It looks like it has dispersed hangars and stuff over on that side. It's 15,000 feet. There's a deceleration point there, where we should slow down to 250 knots. So I think we're going to fly up here and then cut across in front of this mountain here and then come around and in. I think that's what we're going to do. We'll see. So we are 50 miles straight line distance. Some nice scenery out the windows as we come down. Pretty cloudless, so we get to see everything. And it's a pretty rugged interior terrain here. Jack, yeah, well, I don't know about Australia. My experience in the States, yes, they do. Same ATC, but they have their separate military frequencies, so they can talk directly to the squadron and all that stuff that's based out of there. But the actual ATC would be the same, just so there's no conflicts between the two. Alright, so we're going to go to auto brakes low. We're going to arm the speed brakes, or the ground spoilers. Everything else is pretty much set. Deceleration point is coming up. We'll let the aircraft do its thing. It's already slowed us down to 275 knots. See the coastline starting to show up on the terrain radar. We might get a little bit of turbulence as we come in from the heat coming off the desert. It is now almost 10:30 in the morning. Probably starting to get a little bit warm out there. Although, again, it is winter time down here. So there's the speed coming back. It's making the turn, so we're gonna go lights on. There we go. Holding the back, just let them know we're passing through 10,000 feet. Landing systems will come on both sides. .3, and that is the correct identifier for the ILS. India Tango Lima. Not currently picking up either one at the moment. Looks like our S speed, or clean speed under the approach phase is about 218 knots. We'll keep our speed up at the moment. Looks like we're going to be slowing down to about 230 anyway. Not that there's any restrictions, it's just going to the bottom of the range. Looks like we're going to fly up to the other side of this ledge, or that end of the lake, and then come in that way. So we have to be above 6,000 at Townsville and below 6,000 at Boakes. So that is going to be our window there as we pass through. And we'll activate the approach phase now. We'll let her slow down to that 218. 217 clean speed. So slowly work it back. Alright, so we're almost on our approach, so we'll do our checks. So nav and course frequency is set. Flaps will get to. Speed brakes, ground spoilers are armed. Approach mode will be armed shortly. Speed still coming down, 6,000 feet. We're going to hit 6,000 at Boakes because that's what it's had in there. We're heading for 4,000, which is the intercept. Localizer is now being picked up. And the airport is on the coast, so over here. It's 1,800 feet to go. Maybe a little bit of turbulence. Winds are from the right, which should put them on to a slightly right quartering headwind. So SATCO, we're going to be at 4,000 feet. And then we have about a 1 mile run before we should intercept the glide slope. Still not seeing the glide slope. 5 miles out from Satco, so we're going to go flaps 1, which is slats. We'll bring our speed back. There's glide slope. I'm bringing our speed back to about 192, 193, 192. Should start to get localizer movement in a second. So I'm going to arm the approach mode. Second autopilot's coming on for redundancy. I have the airfield, she's right there. Localizer's alive. Lock star, glide slope star. Localizer, glide slope are in capture mode. Glide slope is captured. Localizer's captured. Keep the speed up until we're about 6 miles out. See, the wind is rather strong from slightly more than quartering. She should swing back around as we get down a little bit lower. Train radar starting to paint the mountains there. I mean, obviously we don't need to worry about it when we're having weather like this, but if we were a little bit fogged in or clouded in, we definitely want to know those hills were there. It's 8.5 miles. $2,500, flaps 2. Speed slowly starting to come down. Go around altitude 3,000 feet. Go around altitude is set. Six miles, gear down. Gears in motion. Gears down 3 green. Everything is looking good. Flaps 3. Flaps full. Well, looks like I might have to backtrack to that wider taxiway there. Winds are from the left now. Wow, we're really getting bounced around here. Through 500 feet, autopilot's off. I have control.
100 above.
It's not a heavy crosswind, so we're not too worried. This looks like it's swirling all over the place here.
Minimum.
Landing.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Let's get her down. This reversers are on. Auto brakes on. Oh, auto brakes aren't on. I forgot to turn them on. Ah. That's me. Anyway. Reversers are off. Now we'll be able to get off here at Gulf 1. Oh, welcome to Townsville. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Yeah, it's a nice one. I can't stay there too long though. Alright, so around the corner there, flaps can come up. Ground spoilers coming in. Here's me not announcing anything on Unicom, but there's nobody in the area. Again, it's been a while. Turn the lights off. Strobes can come off. Turn off lights come off. Come down to here. Weather radar. I'm going to be going off the runway in a second if I'm not paying attention. Weather radar. Stop moving around. It's off. Transponder is off. Yeah, there we go. I knew it. TCAS. Stand by. Alright. Let's get ourselves parked up. Down to the civilian terminal here. I guess I had a little bit of pressure on the rudder pedals there, and it kept me turning off. Beautiful little airport here. We won't take the first exit, we'll take the second one. Here we are in idle. She's rolling along pretty good. Little helicopter landing area here. Sort of keep to the lines a little bit. Well, we took off from a remote stand. I think we'll end the same way. won't go to the first one, but we'll go to the next one. Take another airport where the jetways aren't connected to the ends of them. Almost there. There we go. Brakes are on. So let's head over to our ground services. We'll get them to hook ourselves up to our GPU and chocks and come up. Ground power is now available. Shut down the engines. Fuel pumps coming off. Taxi lights are off. Beacon light is off. Landing systems, flight directors are off. Weather radar or terrain radar is off. We can begin deboarding. And the stairs. And if we go to our, we should see them start any second now. What we can do is go over to, I think if we go into our MCDU, see if we get our landing message. There we go, arrival message. Arrived at 1:14 Zulu. It's our official time. There we go. Door is now open. So they can start doing their deboard and everything they have to do for that. So thanks everybody for coming and watching. I know it's been a few weeks since I've done one of these and I'm a little out of practice, but there we go. That was our flight from Melbourne up to Townsville. Our next live stream is going to be on Monday, where we are finishing our Americas, and we will be flying to the bottom of South America. So Monday, same time, 1930 Zulu. We will see you all then. So from the flight deck, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you around. Bye for now.